All right, welcome to the 1-year review of our Heartland Cyclone 4270. This is a 44-foot fifth wheel, and it's a toy hauler. So we've had this for just about exactly a year now. Pardon my construction mess over there. I am doing a video right now and installing a septic system. So we actually have a family who is between houses right now. They're trying to move into our neck of the woods, and they're gonna stay in here probably through the winter and into maybe the summer months next year. So they are moving in today. So I wanted to get this out before they start getting all their stuff in there and just update you guys on, issues we've had and how we've liked the year that we've owned this vehicle, and whether maybe we regretted, wish we'd gone with something else, things along those lines. So let's take a look. Again, this is the model with the side porch. It also has the rear porch with the ramp that goes down into the toy hauler. Got it too close to the shop here to show that again, but I believe it is folded down in my previous video, so you can check that out. Now, with the rig this size, you're looking at some of the 2020 model single rear wheels will pull a 20,000 pound rig. Most of the trucks dating basically 2019, 2018 and back, you'll really want a dually to drive this RV, just for the stability reasons alone. And you don't want just two wheels holding up the front of this. This has a tongue weight of empty. It's got a tongue weight of about 3,700 pounds. So once you start putting your stuff in there, add another 5,000 or 500 pounds to that, and you're probably going to be sitting right around 4,000 to 4,300 pounds on your truck, depending on how much stuff you have loaded in the rig. So we went full timing with this for about 5 months, and then we made the trip all the way across country from Florida up here to Idaho. And for about the last 6 months since we moved in here, we've been busy on the homestead, and we haven't really used the RV much at all. Let's go to the back here, talk about a couple things that we had issues with. For starters, let me pull this tire cover off for you so you can take a look at that. Okay. As you can see here, we've only got about 4,500 miles on this rig, maybe a little bit more, but not much. And you see this rear wheel has a decent amount of wear on it. Now, these are the cheap Chinese bulk manufactured tires. You see the radials, you'll see these on RVs all over the place because they're inexpensive. I would definitely upgrade those. Basically, if you're going to be doing a lot of RVing, as in you might pack up anywhere from 30 to 50 times a year, so you're moving a lot, I would maybe after only 2,000 to 5,000 miles replace all your tires, just so you don't have any major issues. Because this suspension system is also, it's the CRE 3000. You can see there. Sorry, it's pretty dirty down here. We are going to give this a bath today. I just wanted to get this video in before they started moving their stuff. But they're going to help me clean out the exterior and get it all prettied up for the winter. But this suspension system is marginally adequate. I would say you should upgrade to a 4000. I think it's an SRE 4000 or something even more rigid than that. Put in the heavy-duty shackle kit, upgrade the tires. This is a lot of weight. If you're going full-time, you're going to be pushing that 20,000 pounds. We did have this welded in the back here. So what happened is I got caught in a crosswind in Nebraska, and it was a left to right wind, and it bent. These leaf spring brackets on both sides. I don't know if you can see it all the way back there, but I also have a plate welded on the back of that, and it tore my brake line off that rear axle, and it basically broke off that entire rear part of the leaf spring. Luckily, I caught it. I was going slow. I noticed I was tracking in the wrong direction. I was tracking off to the side. I guess I could see I was a good foot off of alignment on that rear axle, and that rear axle was starting to walk out on me. So you really, if you're going to be doing a lot of RVing, don't go with the factory suspensions. I know sometimes if you go way up, like a DRV Mobile Suite, and you're dropping 150,000 plus, sometimes those are ready to go. Now, the axles are great. This is, the Dexter axles are fine. They're all 7,000 pound rated. So as long as your RV is sitting level on your truck, you're going to be distributing maybe anywhere from 16 to 17,000 pounds, and as long as you've got them evenly distributed along your axles, these axles would be fine. But the rest of the suspension you might want to take a look at upgrading. Let's go over to the other side here. For those who haven't seen this rig to its fullest, it's got the slide was great. We really liked how deep that slide is. On the interior, that slide is 38 inches. So it really sticks out quite a bit, which does mean you need to have a nice wide RV parking spot. Keep that in mind with this rig. You're 44 feet, probably going to be driving a dually. We got this into some places where it should not have gone, and we would definitely if we were going to go full-time RVing, take that into more consideration when purchasing, because we definitely went by some state parks that there's just not a realistic way to get in, and we got into some state parks that we shouldn't have been in. We were pushing the envelope with it. This does have the fuel tanks, one for the generator, one as a backup for like your toys, because it is a toy hauler. Those are both 30-gallon tanks. No issues with those. Haven't really used them, but again, no issue with that. You got your rear ladder here that will climb up, that just unfolds from the side. I did need to tighten down some screws there because they were already walking out. Basically from the factory, they were walking out. Your septic hookup, your rear septic hookup is right here. So that's for the bathroom, the secondary bathroom in the RV. And then your other septic hookup is right underneath here. And that is for that's going to drain the kitchen as well as your master bath area. All right, now walking around here, all your panels here for your water. So your flush valve there, and then your water hookup, and all that good stuff, and your through and through storage. And this is basically your only through and through storage, because this right here is one of your propane setups. I have a small propane tank in there right now. It did come with two 10-gallon tanks. So that is what we are going to use. I just had bought some for the winter when we first moved up here in the spring, rather. I needed some extra tanks, and I was stuck with the smaller ones, but those are the factory ones there. And the other side of your through and through. Now, nice, this is your little charge controller for the teeny little panel that comes factory on the roof. This is your leveling system right here. There's also leveling on the front, but I like to use this if I'm doing a manual adjust. This is your hot water bypass valve. So these things are all easy to get to. Battery shut off is up here, along with that light there, so you can light things up in here. And then your central vac, you can reach from right there as well. So those are all in good spots, no complaints about that. This does have the S5 package. It's got your little GoPro mount here if you really want to be cool, get some good shots. And this is the best part of the rig, hands down, the side porch. Now, if we go with a different rig in the future, maybe these folks end up moving out and we want to get rid of this RV, we would definitely go for a side porch again. Now, whether that would be, you got more models and travel trailers now coming out with a side porch, so maybe that's something we could consider. But the side porch, I think, is just a must-have. To be able to sit here, you know, weather protected. You have this nice gate. The stairs are very sturdy. I don't even have the leg down on the porch. This is just cable hung right now. And these 750-pound capacity stairs, this deck can hold like 2,200 pounds. It's just all very stable. The railing system, the MORRIDE railing system, very easy to use. I got it pinched a little bit right now, actually. There we go. So I'm gonna have to look at why that's pinched. I don't think my corner over here is locked in all the way. So all in all, there's zero complaints about the side porch. It really is just a great option, and it's something I really wouldn't go without. Coming in here, this is the floor plan we had gone with. I believe there's a couple different floor plans, but this is the one you get when you have the side porch. At least 2019, that could change. I don't know what the 2020 models look like currently. We liked the kitchen. We didn't go with the island because we wanted this wide open space out to the patio, kind of create a good flow there. And we had like a table here, the kids could do crafts and things like that, and it was nice and out of the way. The kitchen is very modern. We had no issues with the Furrion appliances. There's a couple little tricks to the trade when operating that oven, but all in all, we had no complaints with that. No complaints with the plumbing system at all on this rig, except for one part of the toilet, but that's not on Heartland. That's just, I'll get to that in a second. We don't use the microwave much, but it's a nice microwave. Matches, looks good. We took down the cruddy blind that was there. It's just a grease trap. It was a very cheap $5 blind. Ripped that off there, and I believe the people who are moving in are just going to put a set of curtains there. The TV hanging here, that's on an extension arm, swivel mount. Nice storage above. Didn't have any problems with any of the cabinetry. We did have some problems with the trim work on the outside of the cabinetry, and you'll get that. I mean, really, unless you're spending well over $100,000, you live with some of the cosmetic stuff. We all know quality control when it comes to some of the interior work is not up to snuff at these factories, and so you got like a piece here that just chunked off and fell. Let me see if I can get that in here. I'm sorry. Let me get my camera up. That piece fell off pretty quickly. This cabinet up here kind of came out of square, so we actually did take it back to Lazy Days because it was way bad, and they did tighten it up a little bit. You can see like the gapping on this door significantly more than it is over here. Trim's kind of cut like junk right there. I don't know what that is. I mean, that's just not even an effort. So there's a lot of those kind of things. These little grommets are constantly falling out all over the floor. Open up the panel. You see buttons that are, this panel is like, you know, wants to pop because this screw right here is not really catching anything because this panel, the wood piece behind was not cut correctly, so it's these screws aren't all touching anything to screw into, so you get this popping out, buttons not sitting quite flush, you know, stuff like that. Just attention to detail that's not really there. What else did we have an issue with? Well, I'll go back to the rear toilet. Now, this is not a Heartland thing because these toilets basically come with all RVs or a similar variation of them. That pedestal broke, so the pedestal on that toilet snapped, and I did just swap that, and I'll have a video out if I don't already by the time I post this video of me repairing that toilet. So it was under warranty, no big deal, only took me about 25 minutes to swap that pedestal out, but that toilet did break. Back here we haven't had any problem with this bunk bed rack system, the adjustable system here. That's worked flawlessly so far, so no complaints there. We haven't used this too much. We haven't had any complaints with that rear door, but we also haven't used it too much, so I don't have the best data for whether that's going to hold up to long-term abuse or not. No issues on the cabinets back there. What else do we have here? Oh, the septic handle, while I'm on it, the septic handle down on this side of the RV broke, and I still haven't got it repaired. I have the part, but it broke pretty quickly, and so we couldn't keep the septic from draining, so I had to put a secondary valve on there. So that can get to be a stinky mess. In here, adjustable bed. No problem with the adjustable bed. It's worked flawlessly to this day. Now it's only a year old, so I wouldn't expect that to break. But no issue with that. The closet space here, if you're not familiar with the previous video or somebody else has shown it, it's adequate. It's not great. Generally speaking, if you're really seeking closet space, you want your closet to be in the nose of the rig. That's just, you know, it's a better design for taking care of space and having the bed go east-west instead of north-south. So this actually has like a his and hers there. That's about 44, 46 inches high from top to bottom there. So you're not hanging any long dresses, but fold things in half and you should be able to fit them all in there. And then the 3 drawers at the bottom. So here's the master. The master has the bathtub in it, which we like because we have smaller children. They're not too keen on showers yet at this step, so you know, having that bathtub is good. No plumbing issues in here, nothing broken. Decent cabinet space. These are pretty deep. Good 9 to 10 inches on depth, and then this one has about 5-inch depth on it in the medicine cabinet, which is adequate. All right. We like the lighting in here, really good lighting. Like you can see, I still don't have all the lighting up in the kitchen, and got plenty of it in here. It feels very bright. It's a rainy, overcast day, and in here there's no need for natural light if you don't have any outside. And obviously it's got blackout screens that pull down over there. So other than some cosmetic quality control issues, some things that are slapped together, not great. Really can't complain too much about the rig. There's always things you can upgrade, and that lock can get a little bit sticky. You know, anything that's getting mass bulk purchased, generally from overseas, because they're getting put on basically every rig a manufacturer owns, you're going to have some issues with it, or you could, I should say, have some issues with them. And so just keep that in mind. A lot of people upgrade their front door handle to like a keypad lock, things like that. It also has a rear awning there that you can hang out, so you can almost get total coverage from this side, which really helps on a hot sunny day. Keeps the heat off the rig. Now this is nice because this opens up to the kitchen, so if you're doing dishes or something like that, you can see outside. And of course this TV, which I'm actually going to take off here, and that way a lady who's moving in can have this open more often and not worry about moisture getting on the television. She's not going to watch this TV, so that has a magnet, sticks to it. And so when you're out here on the porch, you can just hang out and watch TV. So tailgating or something like that, that's a really good option. This is my mini fridge in here. And then let's see if this is unlocked here. And that is just storage. So that's your mini fridge and some storage down underneath there. So again, if you're out here watching TV, you got some friends hanging out on the deck with you, you can get your ice cold drinks right there. So that's a very nice feature. We have never used it, however, so I guess it's not too applicable for us. And your speakers for that TV are right up there. And we did have one leak right above these speakers. So we shoved about a pound of silicone up in that thing and it still leaks. So I'm gonna pressure wash the top gutter area out again, and I'm gonna put some high quality DAP on there, probably some RV roof sealant, and see if I can finally get that to stop, because it is really annoying when you've got this covered area, and that's from the factory too. That's leaked since day one. So, but when you've got this covered area in here, and then you got like this drip that's just constantly drip, drip, drip. Another complaint is that when that thing's dripping, the part I just showed you, it gets caught by this gutter, taken over here, and then this downspout falls onto like this thing, or splatters down here onto the handle, and then it just shoots stuff all over the place where you should have covered. So, you know, it's turned into quite a problem to have that one little hole there, because every time we get caught in a rainstorm, that's the issue. This awning is adjustable, so I've got it canted at the moment. So I'll show you that. Getting my firewood ready for the winter here. So like mini awnings, you can easily adjust this awning on here. It's canted left to right at the moment, and it's going to dump water then off over here when we have a really bad rainstorm, and that should keep the front door as dry as possible. It's got plenty of outdoor lights. It's outdoor light that's underneath the awning. Then it's got the one above the front door, and it's got the front light on the nose there. And so if you park in your rig, you're like your truck, or a guest is parking their car out here in an RV lot, then you've got plenty of exterior lighting. And another one over the rear door, of course. So all in all, there's not a lot of complaints. I haven't had any issues with the level up leveling system, except for very common issue, which is the auto level. So the auto level never really got us to perfect level, and so I'm constantly manually adjusting that. It is something that, you know, you can take in and get calibrated. Some people can just do it from the road who know how to do it properly. I rather just do it manually, and that's what I did. These are a must, of course. Keep wasps and critters out of your hot water exhaust there, as well on the other side for your furnace exhaust as well. You want to put a cover on there. The generator is under here. This generator is a 5500, I believe. An Awning, of course, like most of them are. So yes, a Cummins Awning 55 gasoline generator. And then here's how you get to like your hydraulic lift, your inverter, another battery shut off there. So this is where all your goodies are to play with, especially if you're deciding to hook up some solar or something like that. That's how you get access to it. All pretty clean under here. Of course, these generators are pretty well known for reliability, so no issues there. And here's your other auto level system from the front. And like I said, I kind of stopped using that after a little while. I had one very unlevel RV spot that was probably too small for this large of a rig. And ever since I tried to use auto level on that, ended up doing a manual override, that auto level has not worked. So a shot of the dirty front here. It's the Cyclone HD edition. So all in all, it's got the tight turn technology. So if you've got a short bed rather than an 8-foot bed, you don't have to worry too bad about scraping the side of your truck on that. So that is definitely a usable feature if you do have a 6 3/4 bed rather than the 8-footer. But all in all, I think the downside to this was the floor plan for us. We had a dog, and we wanted to be able to put the dog out on the side deck, and so we didn't go with the rear living room style because you can't get a side deck with the rear living room. Now you actually can in a travel trailer as well. I don't know if there's one in a fifth wheel, haven't looked, but you can in a travel trailer. So floor plan inside was not the best. Worked well for the kids. They had that whole garage back there. We had carpet down, you know, their comfy chairs, their bunk bed. So they had tons of room to play and have their toys out. But what that meant was basically at a long kind of narrow living room and kitchen rather than that rear living room space that we like so much. And we really had a cramped master bedroom in this. So because it was so garage dominated, we probably would have been better with a mid bunkhouse setup for the kids, have a rear living room. Maybe just let the dog go hang out on somebody's farm for 6 months rather than getting this set up. But other than that, it is a great rig. Make sure you got enough truck to pull it, and make sure that your rig, and this goes with any triaxle fifth wheels, make sure you're level when you're pulling. I had a problem getting my dually have an FX4 package on it, so it sat pretty high, and even the fifth wheel hitch in its lowest receiver setting put more weight on the rear axle than it did on the front axle. So that was an issue for me. So just keep that in mind. You really want to have this thing straight and level when you're towing down the road to make sure that that weight is evenly distributed over those 3 axles. Other than that, and some of the quality control issues, air conditioners have been flawless. Thermostats have been flawless. Furnace has been fairly flawless. One thing with furnaces in here, and this is probably not a Heartland thing, it's just the specific brand of furnace, is that you want to make sure that when your propane runs out, turn off your thermostat, plug your new propane tank in or switch propane tanks, and then, you know, obviously open up the tank and then turn your thermostat back on to re-trigger that pilot light. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're just blowing cold air even after you put fresh propane tank in there. So just something to keep in mind. But other than that, things are pretty accessible in this rig. Underneath storage is terrible. Floor plan is decent. If the floor plan for a toy hauler is actually pretty decent. But again, we were using it as a bedroom for children, not as a toy hauler. So as a family rig, I still probably would prefer, like I said, if they have some out now, find a side porch unit that maybe look at the Grand Design. I know they have the toy hauler. Maybe that's a little more comfortable for you. Or find one that's got a side porch. If you don't need the toy hauler, side porch. It also has a big family-oriented rear living area. And I did see a travel trailer like that. I know the Striker also has another travel trailer like that. So I think these are getting more and more popular, and we're going to have more and more options to get a side porch, because as I see it, the side porch is a must. It brings the outside in. And too much of RVing, you're out in RVing for one reason, because you're going out on an adventure, right? You're on the beach, you're in a national forest, you know, any of those, you're at a sporting event. You want to be indoor, outdoor living as much as possible. The side porch makes that a possibility. You can't really do that if, you know, you just have a few windows and you have to keep going in and out, and you got to have some setup out here, and it really divides the space. The front porch or the side porch ties it all together. And so I think we are getting more options for that, and I would continue to push you to find a rig that has that front porch as well as the floor plan. You know, let the manufacturers know that's what you're looking for as well, because consumers demand things, and before you know it, the RV industry will start popping them out left and right. So that's my total take on this. Not a regret. Not anything against Heartland. I think it's just, it ended up not being the greatest floor plan for us, but the rig itself has done fine. And again, side porch is a must. So that's it for our 1 year review. No major complaints, no total system failures, anything like that. Just some typical cosmetic things, and toilets breaking and things like that that I did mention in the video. So you all take care, and I will catch you next time.